A story from Europe that caught our attention this weekend was a decision by Pope Benedict XVI to rehabilitate a British bishop who has denied the existence of the Holocaust. The Pope rescinded Richard Williamson's excommunication after 20 years and did the same with 3 other excommunicated bishops. As recently as last week, Williamson was still making his claim about the Holocaust, as he did in an interview on Swedish television shown on YouTube.
The historical evidence is hugely against 6 million Jews having been deliberately gassed in gas chambers as a deliberate policy of Adolf Hitler.
But you say not one Jew was killed?
In gas chambers.
What's behind the Pope's controversial decision to reinstate Williamson? To answer that question and shed more light on the controversy, we are joined now by Terrence Tiley. He is the chair of the theology department at Fordham University and president of the Catholic Theological Society of America. Thanks very much for being with us. Surely the Pope must have known that his decision would cause a great deal of controversy. So why did he do it?
He did it, I think, for one very specific reason. This is the end of the week of Christian unity, and by forgiving the excommunication of these 4 bishops, he helped reunite them with the church, or at least set the stage for doing so. I suspect that he was unaware of Bishop Williamson's rather unfortunate comments.
But wouldn't there have been somebody who stepped forward, somebody close to him, and say, Your Holiness, this is not perhaps the best of choices?
I suspect that this has been going on for some months, and probably Williamson's remarks were made after the train had already left the station and the process was going forward. So he may actually not have ever heard of them.
The Pope's actually scheduled to visit Israel in May. Do you think that he'll go forward with this visit? And what, if he does, how will it be impacted?
I suspect he will go forward with the visit. Along the way, I would expect him to repudiate those remarks, or at least distance himself from them, or to reject them in some way, to recognize that there are very few people who would agree with those remarks.
Bishop Williamson was only one of 4 bishops that the Vatican said that they would reinstate. So what's the significance of this overall bigger decision?
Well, you can put the significance in a number of ways. First, there's 900 million or more Catholics in the world. This group is maybe 600,000 to 1 million at most by their own call. Second, it's an attempt to reunite the church and to signal his own view that the Second Vatican Council, this watershed event held in the early 60s, was not a change in the church, it's simply continuity, a position that few of us find historically reliable.
And this feeds into why they were excommunicated in the first place.
Exactly. They had rejected some of the moves of the Second Vatican Council in favor of religious freedom, religious tolerance, in favor of openness to other religious traditions. So that rejection, and the rejection, of course, of the change of the Mass from being in Latin into the language of the people, those 3 items were strongly rejected by them, and that's why they were excommunicated.
And only about 10 seconds left. How severe is it to be excommunicated, and how unusual to be then returned?
It's a very severe warning, and it's very commonly the case that people return.
Terrence Tiley of Fordham University, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.